The following podcast has been rated PGN. Parental guidance is neglected.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've had a little father-son chat.
I am your father.
Father, if you can hear me, I failed.
Don't let your mother smell that beer on your breath. She'll take it out on me.
I'm here with my dad.
I know what you're gonna say, son. And you're right. You're right.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I've abandoned my boy!
Yeah. The comeback. What is that? What is that song, Jackson?
I have never heard that song in my entire life. I don't
Come on, it's Corey Feldman. I'm pitching it to you. I think that should be our new theme song. What do you think?
You think so? The Corey Feldman song?
Yeah. Well, one of many Corey Feldman songs. That's literally what.
So he's so talented, isn't he?
That's what
a
I was.
Man of so many facets.
I know. That's what I was listening to right before we went on the air. Everybody, welcome to the PGN podcast. I don't know why Corey Feldman videos come up on my scrolling reels or whatever. You know what else I saw? I wanted to ask if you ever saw, but I was just before I came on with you today. Have you seen the clips of Jack Nicholson getting himself ready for the scenes in The Shining, Stanley Kubrick movie?
Yeah. Where he's like, whoa, like he's just like really like hyping himself up.
Yeah, he's like, murder, X's. He's like,
no, it's so eerie.
It's so crazy. And like the PAs are walking around. I'm like, I think Mr. Nicholson's ready to go. Shelley's set, and he's just he's like swinging an axe, and he's like, kill people, and you're just like, oh my god,
oh, what a psycho.
I
Jeez.
know. I wish they had.
Yeah.
I wish someone had I don't know how much they did, but I wish they had documented the making that entire movie, kind of like Apocalypse Now. You know,
the Heart of Darkness. Because I bet you that was the stories we've heard about The Shining are just insane. I miss Jack Nicholson. He just doesn't act anymore. He retired. Yeah.
I mean, he was always even when.
I miss Shelley Duvall. I mean, she was that movie ruined her life. She did poor woman.
She did Popeye, and then I don't know if she. Yeah, I think it scarred her. I think she even says it kind of scarred her from the whole process of movie making. I mean, Stanley Kubrick, by all accounts, was just a nightmare to work with. Like there's just horror stories about Stanley Kubrick. So. Hey everybody, welcome to the PGN podcast. It's Regan Burns here and my son Jackson Burns. Coming at you, not live but recorded. Jackson Byrne. Hey, Jackson, where can people, we always do it at the end. Hey, Jackson, where can people follow you on social media? Let's make them listen to the
follow me on social media.
Yeah, listen to
That's
the
a good idea,
now.
actually.
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and that's it. At Jackson and Burns, and then I'm also on YouTube at Jackson Burns.
Yeah, you got a big YouTube channel, big cult following over there with all your rap history videos. Did I just completely degrade your YouTube channel? Like, oh, Dad, it's not a rap history. Like,
it's
that's a dad's point of view. Though.
It's close enough.
Yeah. No, he does good stuff over there. Follow me on Instagram at Regan.Burns. And whatever you're listening to right now, Spotify, or if you're watching us on YouTube and looking at our mugs, make sure to give us a rating and some reviews and likes and all that fun stuff. Go ahead, buddy.
You know, not to plug a different podcast right now, but I started listening to the Roger Deakins podcast he does with his wife.
He's a cinematographer, Roger Deakins, right?
Yeah, he did like a lot of the Coen Brothers stuff. Mm-hmm. He just did Empire of Light, Blade Runner. He worked with Denis a lot. Super interesting. If you are at all interested in, like, he just has great guests on too. Like, I mean, I was looking at the list, like Paul Dano, a bunch of these huge people.
Yeah,
really interesting. I just thought that was I would just give a little shout out to, not that they need it, but the Team Deakins podcast.
I interviewed Roger Deakins. How do you think about that?
Really?
I did on my old
on
my old AMC show called Cinemania.
And you never thought to bring up to me that you interviewed arguably the most famous director of photography of all time?
Listen, Jackson, my time is limited with you when it comes to father-son time, okay? When I'm not disciplining you at the ripe old age of 20, I can't tell
Was he
you,
nice? How was he?
Super cool. Yeah, I think he came in for Blade Runner, the original. I think we were showing that film. I think that's the one. He's done so many, but he came in for an interview. He was interesting, but he's a cinematographer. I mean, it's a little. I haven't listened to his podcast, but it wasn't, Yuck City. It was a lot.
If you're a DP, you wouldn't really get much out of it, but it's really interesting to me. And him and his wife work on almost every movie he's done. His wife works with him, which is also super interesting. I think their little dynamic that they have going on.
Interesting. Do you think you would work with your wife one day? Do you think you would be? Do you think that's healthy for relationships? No,
I don't.
You're like, no.
See, they met on set, so it's a little different. But I have a very strict. I will work on a set with a significant other if we're just not on the same department. But if I never want to be that guy that's like barking orders, or like the other way around, where it's like, oh, this is a weird power dynamic, and everyone else is kind of uncomfortable about it.
Yeah. Interesting. Would you work with your father on a set in the same department? What if you and I were both in the camera department? I bet you would try to tell me it's a 10K in a minute. Why would you use that gel? Do you not even see the shadow, Dad? Would you be like would we work?
Yeah,
good?
I do a lot of that. I would work on a set with you just to do that, just to be that guy where it's like, actually, you have to keep the C-stand on this side of the plat. I don't know, just.
Yeah. I don't
know. That'd be interesting.
Do you think we would work good if I was the director and you were the DP? Like,
I don't know how you direct. I don't know what your directing style is like. So that's really up to you.
It's very Stanley Kubrick, very much like we were talking about.
Yeah,
it's very. It's authoritarian. It's multiple takes over and over and over again.
I was hearing some story from someone who worked on Full Metal Jacket, and they were talking, and they were just like, yeah, we would do a shot, and he wouldn't give notes. He'd just be like, all right, just do it better this time.
Do it better.
And then they just run it over. He's like, I don't know what to do differently.
Do it better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was known for doing multiple takes. Like, he'll do 40, 50 takes of things where even everyone's looking at him like, what is he looking for? What are we not doing? And he's not going to tell anybody. He's just like, I'm going to keep doing it till I feel it. Yeah. Rest in peace, Stanley Kubrick. Best Stanley Kubrick movie?
Are you asking me for what you're going to say or what I think?
No, what you say.
I think Dr. Strangelove is his best.
All right, Full Metal Jacket.
But to be fair, I am missing a lot. I haven't seen. I've seen all the big hitters, but I haven't seen like Eyes Wide Shut or Paths of Glory or Spartacus or.
Spartacus is up there. That's a goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do. I mean, I also love The Shining. I love Clockwork Orange.
Full Metal.
2001, I think, is a stinker and a half of a movie, but
so boring.
Jesus
boring.
Christ, it's the most boring movie I've seen in a long time.
So boring. Hey, you see how this works? This is the PGN podcast. This is a father and son talking film, old film, new film. We teased it. We're here. We're back. This is the big one, Jackson. It's our Oscar show.
We are here.
It's our Oscar show, and we're going to get to the Oscars. We're going to give you all of our predictions. Here's the thing. If you're out there and you have an office pool or you're doing an online thing or something with your friends and you want to win the pool, listen very carefully to our picks coming up. I'm telling you, I know who's going to win. Jackson thinks he knows who's going to win.
Listen, I'll say it. I think that you are way better at picking the ones that they're going to pick for whatever reason, because I get so in my head where I'm like, oh, but they can't not do this though, but they can. Like they can and they do all the time. So
we used to throw an Oscar party here at my house. We'd have a bunch of our friends over. We just haven't done it in a while, just because our kids got older and they monopolize all our time. But when we did throw the Oscar party, we would always do a big Oscar pool. I would do one online, and people would fill out ballots. And I would always win, and then people would get really pissed. They're like, "You can't win your own."
That's
Oscar.
so funny.
Yeah, but
I will say I have taken up the torch on that, and we're doing a little Oscar party at my dorm here with all my friends, and I'm going to print out all the ballots, and we're going to do a little. a little group pool thing. I don't know if we're doing it for money or anything. Probably just for fun.
Hell yeah, throw in like $5-10, man. Someone walks away with like $50-$60. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just gonna order some pizzas and stuff.
Well, that's
I did say I am charging Babylon fans a $5 surcharge for entrance for crimes against my mental state.
Dylan's screwed then. Yeah, he's gonna be.
Yeah. The thing with that is like. Whatever, if you like the movie, it's whatever. For some reason, fans of that movie are just the most vocal about it. Like, they just love to talk about how awesome that movie is.
Yeah. Well, teaser for what's coming up. I think Babylon's going to win some Oscars this year, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
I might agree with you. We'll see.
We'll have to see. PGN Podcast. We tried to see a couple movies this week, and we succeeded. So before we get into all of our Oscar talk, Jackson took in... which I think Argentina is the only one you haven't seen, right? Of the foreign,
I'm missing
of the foreign
a good
language
chunk.
films.
No, I have the document up right here.
I think for foreign films, you saw or international feature.
I haven't seen Argentina and I haven't seen The Quiet Girl. But I have seen the trailer for The Quiet Girl.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't really have a want to see it.
Yeah.
But. Maybe I'll find time to watch Argentina this week just so I have a little more.
We have the opportunity to go see a screening this weekend, this Sunday, I believe, of Argentina 1985 here at a local theater with a Q&A afterwards from, I think, some of the people who the movie's based on.
Oh, really? Oh,
and
interesting. Okay.
It's right in the middle of the day tomorrow. We're recording.
Yeah,
it's Saturday right now. We're recording, and I don't know if at 4 o'clock I want to go to an Argentina 1985, but I feel like I should. But then the other part of me is like, I'll just order it online. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to maybe see Argentina because I've heard that one's pretty good. But Jackson did see Close, which is one of the movies I was going to try to catch last week and then bailed on. It is also up for International Feature Film this year. I believe, and Jackson will fill us in, it tells the tale of a young, possibly budding homosexual relationship between two young boys. But Jackson, tell us more, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this movie is interesting because it's never really explicitly like a gay movie. Like there's never like any like actual they never really say if they're into each other in that way or not. Like it could also very well be a story between two close friends.
Right.
This is way more a movie about grief than I would say it is a movie about.
Just to backpedal a little bit, what country is it from, and do we know who directed it? It's a French film.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least they're speaking French. I don't know if the filmmaker is. Let me get up his name right now. I had it.
I'm sure it's Pierre.
It's gonna be Lucas Dant.
Lucas Dant. Okay.
Lucas Dant.
Okay. So what? But is more about grief. Is there dead people die in this, or is this a tearjerker?
I was sobbing pretty hard in the movie theater.
Really?
This was a really, really rough watch.
Wow.
I like this movie a lot. I would not recommend you see it if you are a tough, sad movie goer. This movie just leaves you with no hope. It's really depressing.
Is it sadder than the donkey who goes around and watches people get slaughtered? And what's sadder? The donkey movie?
It is sadder.
It's sadder than that. More sad.
Because the donkey movie was more kind of just like, like again, like really, we're just. Right. This was more just like, oh my god, I feel like I want to crawl into a ball. It was me, and I was in the theater for all the trailers by myself, and so I was like, oh, great, I'm doing this thing alone. And then a couple people filed in right at the last minute.
Right.
But it was the kind of thing where the movie is over, the credits roll, the lights come up, and I'm, like, trying to pull myself together. I'm like,
wow.
And I stand up, and I look around, and everyone's just like...
on their phones. Like
on their phone, and I'm just like,
face me.
Good stuff, guys, and just trot it out. Yeah, I don't want to say much about this movie because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's really, really a deeply human movie. I recommend you watch it. I think that you would
like it.
I don't think you'd enjoy it, but I don't know. I actually don't know what you'd think about it. It was shot really beautifully, I will say.
How are the performances? Kid performances can go either way.
Unbelievable.
They're good, huh?
Unbelievable. They had that kid crying on command, like, and just even when he wasn't, because there's a lot of build up of like you kind of watch all his emotions kind of bubble and him pushing him down, and you can kind of see it in the way he acts. It really is just I think a beautiful script, a deeply depressing film, but
is this a unique?
Really.
Is this a uniquely French film, or do you see like, nope, they're going to remake this in America with, two young kids? Like sometimes you go, this is not a movie they'll redo, and some you're like, well, here comes.
I think that this is a French movie.
It's French.
Not that it's like, oh, it's black and white and they're smoking cigarettes, and it's like,
right.
I just think that it's gonna be. If it were to be an American film, it would get the America treatment, where it's like, oh, well, actually, I don't know, there'd be some weird gimmick. Yeah. I don't think it needs it. I think this movie stands well enough on its own.
What was the French film that our friend Sue made us watch not too long ago? The one about the paraplegic that.
It was Untouchables.
Yeah, and then that one got remade with Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. So, but you don't see them flipping this over and grabbing a couple of the Stranger Thing kids and putting them in it or anything, or
it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Huh.
I don't think it'd do well here.
Well, I don't want to know if you think it has a chance at the Oscars. We'll cover that in a couple minutes. But what is your personal grade on this?
Close is going to get a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. So that's
it's hard for me to put into words how this movie is, because I really am trying to avoid spoiler territory, but
right.
I thought it was fantastic.
It's about two boys. What about junior high age? Maybe you think junior?
I believe it's their first year of high school.
Okay, so freshmen,
or like whatever the French version of high school is.
Yeah, and they have an incredibly tight bond, and it's just kind of a little ambiguous about whether or not they are just tight friends, or if they're falling in love, or maybe one of them is and one of them isn't. Right? It could go either way, kind of thing. All right. Any twists or turns, like the ending? Did they land it? Did they stick the landing, or was it like?
They stuck the landing so hard. Oh God, they stuck the landing so hard.
All right.
It's just, yeah.
All right. Well, you got me interested. I don't know if it's still in theaters. I'll try to, if I can find the time, or if not, I'll try to see it before.
It'll be on some platform somewhere. Yeah.
I'd like to see it before next Friday in the big award show. Close is. Playing in limited theaters. It's up for the Oscar next week, and probably on demand up there if you look for it. So while Jackson was taking in the French Oscar-nominated film, I went out and saw the big box office. I'm pretty sure it was the #1 movie this weekend, or is, since we're recording this on Saturday. I haven't seen the box office numbers yet. It's the third entry in the Rocky spin-off franchise called Creed. Creed 3, in fact. I had to go back on YouTube. I remember enjoying the first Creed very much. I remember the second one was fine. But I did have to go back and watch one of those YouTube, like, here's the wrap-up of the two films.
Right, the recaps, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I want to tell you is, because you mentioned it last week, yes, his wife in the first one is losing her hearing. We have now come to the point in the films where she has undergone something that she is getting her hearing back. So she hears now, but it may only be temporary. They really don't discuss that much, but the big thing is they do have a little girl now who's probably about 6th grade-ish. She is deaf. They have a child, and she is 100% deaf. So a lot of the movie is done with sign language and subtitles. So, Creed 3.
Now, I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Michael B. Jordan direct?
Michael B. Jordan did direct this film, and he made some very interesting choices in some very key elements of the film. I think I was most intrigued and slightly impressed with the big final fight. And here's the funny thing. I've heard some complaints from people that they're like, well, I don't want to give away too much, but he makes some very unique and un-Rocky-like artistic choices in the final fight.
Okay.
Yeah, so what starts out like your typical final, the crowds and the everything. It takes a really interesting twist in the final fight, and he makes a choice to focus, without giving it away, on just what's happening in the ring and not necessarily the entire environment. Some things drop away.
Okay.
Suddenly there's almost like a dreamlike sequence to it, which I know jarred some people. They're like, we want dun 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 dun, and the swelling of the music. There is literally a part. There's literally a part in the last fight where there is no music whatsoever underneath, and there's no sound.
Cool.
There's no sound except the heavy breathing and the actual sounds of the impact of the punches. And I thought that was actually pretty cool.
I do like that a lot. Yeah.
Most of the rest of the movie is pretty much paint by numbers. I will tell you this: Jonathan Majors, who plays his adversary in this, or maybe not as adversarial as you think, it's his childhood friend. Without giving away, you can see from the trailers, a pretty traumatic event happened to them as kids, and their lives took different paths, and then they come back into each other's lives. Jonathan Majors, who was the villain in the horrific Ant-Man, redeems himself in this. He's really good. This is the first time I've seen him, and I go, oh, that's why everyone's casting Jonathan Majors. He's very good in this. But as far as the rest of the film, it's a pretty much standard Rocky type movie. There's the montage scenes.
Of course, yeah.
Somebody dies. There always has to be someone dies. I won't tell you
always
who.
A death.
There's always a death, and then there's got the swelling of the music, and there has to be a reason to fight. But the movie opens with Creed going into retirement, and needless to say, he gets pulled back in. I enjoyed it, Jackson. Again, you kind of go into these movies knowing what to expect, but I elevate this one a little bit because I think Michael B. Jordan makes some pretty, which I think you would find kind of an interesting choice, especially in the last third of the film. Creed 3 for me gets a B. I do recommend going to see it if that's way
better than I was expecting, to be honest.
If you are a fan of these films. If you saw Creed 1 and you were like, I don't, this is not my thing, then stay away.
I saw Creed 1, I think I was in end of middle school, in between water polo tournaments. So it has been a long time since I've revisited this franchise, but maybe I'll check it out, though. Yeah.
But you'll get plenty of shots of his abs, and there's plenty of glistening muscle shots as well. And this is the first. This is the first one without Stallone. They reference him once or twice, but he did produce the film. But it was time for him to bow out. And finally, spoiler alert: they do leave the door open for Creed 4. So. I know.
What?
I know you find that shocking, but there's a couple ways they could go with a sequel here. There's actually a couple interesting possibilities without giving away. Let's just say the next Creed movie may not be about men in the ring.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. There you have it. Those are our reviews of new films this week. Before we get into our Oscars, that's gonna. Do you have to? I see you checking your phone. Are you good? You got to.
No, I was getting ready for.
Oh, you're
Jackson
getting all set.
Art House. I'm getting prepped. I'm getting prepped. Yeah.
Are you getting prepped for it? Should we do the Art House now? There's been a pretentious Art House sighting this week.
It's going to be a quick one.
Before we get into Jackson's pretentious film Art House Corner and our Oscar picks, next week is going to be a jam-packed week if we can. We have 3 pretty big films opening next week on Oscar weekend that, of course, we will always try to see and do our very best. Next week, of course, is the 6th entry into the Scream franchise. Scream goes to New York, and so we get to see a lot of people slaughtered in subways and in the Empire State Building, and I guess, I don't know, wherever, nightclubs in New York. So Scream 6 opens next weekend. Also, Adam Driver's in a new sci-fi movie next week. Jurassic Park meets Aliens, I guess. 65 is opening next weekend. We will try our best. whenever we record. Remember, it's Oscar weekend, so we'll be glued to our TVs. Jackson's really big into the pre-show of the Oscars. He likes to see what everyone's wearing.
Oh yeah, I want to know the names.
Yeah.
I want to see who's with who
designed what dress,
who's the new hottest item.
Yeah, so I mean, he's going to do his best, but it's a big night for him. He does like a fashion wrap up on his channel. If you want to see it, it's Jackson's fashion Oscar wrap up.
Yeah,
yeah. Also, opening next weekend is Champions. That's Woody Harrelson's new comedy where he's coaching a basketball team of special ed kids. I don't know, it looks kind of lame, but it's also it's Peter Farrelly. So I'm never gonna not trust Farrelly to find some funny somewhere.
What's Farrelly done?
There's something about Mary, Dumb and Dumber. The Farrelly brothers. It's Bobby and Peter, but this one is just, I believe Peter directed. I think it's a solo one. So we will see at least one or two or what we can next week with those. And also, we're getting back to it since the Oscars are over. It's Jackson's time of the month. Literally, he's having his period. So
I was gonna say,
it's Jackson's. That was a weird. That was a good place to put a pause, right?
It's crazy.
Jackson's
segue.
time of the month. So please ignore his bitchy attitude right now. That's bad. That's so, I don't know. I get a period too. Men get a period too. Sometimes I wake up grouchy for 3 days and I'm like,
This is true.
I am menstruating.
This is true.
Jackson, it's his time of the month to pick a film. This could be a movie that's 2 weeks old or 2 centuries old. Something that Jackson's very curious to see. It could be a cult hit. It could be something that won an award. It could be something that he's just heard great things about. Something we haven't seen that we both must watch and talk about next week. Jackson, what are you thinking about throwing at me this month?
So I've been trying to do a better job at picking movies that I think we're both gonna like, because I don't want to be the guy that's just forcing you to see the dumb crap that I want to see. So I feel like I've done another good job finding a middle ground here.
For the record, you just called it dumb crap, not me.
Okay, whatever. Okay. This is a film from a director I think we're both aware of, an Oscar winner, I believe, Steve McQueen, known for 12 Years a Slave, Shame, some other films. But this is one of his older movies starring Michael Fassbender, who he's worked with multiple times. I'm hoping that you haven't seen this.
Is this the sex addiction one?
No, it's not. That's Shame. This is a different one called Hunger.
Hunger.
I don't really know anything about it.
The Hunger or Hunger? I've seen a movie
Hunger.
called... Okay, The Hunger was a vampire movie.
I don't know anything about it. Someone recommended me this movie, and it looks really great. The little logline I'm looking at here, it says, the story of Bobby Sands, the IRA member who led the 1981 hunger strike in which Republican prisoners tried to win political status. So it seems like it's a bit of a biopic. A bit of a historical biopic on a real event, but I've heard great things from Steve McQueen. I love Michael Fassbender, so I feel like this might be a good movie. We'll see.
Where is Michael Fassbender disappeared to? I feel like I haven't seen him in anything for a while.
What was his last?
Is he doing theater somewhere?
I mean, he was doing the X-Men thing for a little bit, and he was in both of the newer Alien movies as well. But since then, I don't really know what he's been up to.
He was like the android in Prometheus and those films.
Yeah, I mean his last like big movie that was like a critical hit, I think was when it was Steve Jobs. Oh, man, he was in that horrible Assassin's Creed movie. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right. They were trying to get a franchise out of that. He was the lead of that,
he hasn't really done anything since 2016, it seems like.
I feel like he's been off the radar for a while. Michael Fassbender. He was the guy for a while there, Magneto and X-Men's, and he was kind of like the hot leading guy. And then, maybe he's got family time. I don't know. Maybe he can't get into...
he was in that movie Dark Phoenix, that X-Men spinoff.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though.
That everyone forgot about. Oh, and The Snowman. Do you remember that?
Oh, I tried...
That horror movie called The Snowman that I never saw?
Serial killer film. I tried watching that on cable one night, and I made it like 10 minutes in. It was bad.
And called it. Yeah.
It was really, really bad. Yeah.
Okay,
that's tough. So next week, we're going to... I'll see that early this week. Have you made sure it's available on download or stream or somewhere? Or
let me triple check right now. It is available for rent on Amazon. Yes,
Amazon. Okay, all right. So if you're a big Steve McQueen fan, not the actor from the 70s. That's totally different.
That's a different person.
Director of 12 Years a Slave. I think he won the. Did he win? I can't remember if he won the Oscar for 12 Years a Slave.
I think it won for best film. I don't know if it won for best directing.
Well, I know it won screenplay because I know the guy who wrote the film.
Who wrote it?
John Ridley. I used to be on John Ridley's movie show. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This was before he was an Academy Award winning writer. Okay, The Hunger next week. And if that sounds a little artsy to you, I bet it's not as artsy as the next films you're about to hear about. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jackson's pretentious art house film corner. What were you forced to watch this week and are probably giving a 10, Jackson?
So this was a really rewatch heavy week for me. I've got a lot of just pretty movies that most people have seen on here, and I've only got 2 that's kind of like a little more underground. I had the pleasure of watching my girlfriend Brooke watch Napoleon Dynamite for the first time because she had never seen it.
What? Okay. Please tell me she loved it.
Yeah, she liked it a lot.
Okay, good.
She liked it a lot.
All right. I have to have a serious talk with her.
She was a big fan of Tina.
Tina Majorino or
the llama.
Yeah.
Tina the
the llama's name is Tina.
It's just the llama. Yeah. What a fun movie. And surprisingly, rewatching it, it's shot really well. Like it's just a lot of almost like Wes Anderson-y. I don't know. It's so interesting. It's just a fun movie. Napoleon Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10. You gotta love Napoleon Dynamite. It's so funny.
I'd rate it high.
In class this week, we had to watch Back to the Future.
What?
Another classic.
The original.
The OG. This was for my screenwriting analysis class because we were talking about like time travel scripts and stuff.
I have not revisited those films in ages. How's that hold up?
It's been a long time for me too. There are moments where I'm like, you know what, that didn't age as well, but it's Back to the Future. Right. You're a little more forgiving when it's Back to the Future. I will say, my one takeaway from this, Crispin Glover is so funny. He's just so funny in that. I think that his performance was so... I mean, I know he was kind of a pain to work with, but his performance is, I think, really ahead of his time on that. Yeah. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, I think I think for almost a decade, we all walked around impersonating him from that, get your damn hands off of her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but he was
he was so great.
He's clinically crazy, and they did not have him back for the second or third.
Yeah. So, and then I sat down. I got one of my friends has a.
What does Back to the Future get? What does Back to the Future get?
Oh, Back to the Future gets an 8. Back to the Future gets an 8. It's really it's a really great movie. Not like my favorite franchise, but God, right. I mean, it's so much fun. I was saying, I got one of my friends' Criterion Channel passwords, so I have access to that now. And I watched, I rewatched Naked, but it was the commentary version. So it has it's the film, but it has David Thewlis and Mike Lee and a couple other people talking about the movie while it goes by. It was just really interesting. That movie gets a 10, but it's like, that's all I'm going to say about it. I've said all I can say about it.
It's one of your faves.
And then the last thing was, after coming home from Close, I just needed something that made no sense. I needed something in the background just to be like, that's weird. Just to get my mind. It was so depressing. I was like, I just got to get my mind off of this.
Okay.
So I just put on Eraserhead. I was like, this is just something that makes no sense.
Hold on. You needed to cleanse your palate of this heavy, grief-stricken French film Close, and you put on David Lynch's Eraserhead?
Because A, I've already seen it before, and B, it's like I just needed something fucking weird to just be like, all right, I'll just forget about.
You picked the right one.
And I got it. Eraserhead gets an 8. I love that movie.
Is that still your favorite David Lynch film, or did
no.
Mulholland Drive? Did that just?
The Twin Peaks movie is my favorite, but
really?
Mulholland Drive's a close second.
Oh, all right, okay. And you're not a big fan of Blue Velvet.
I have to watch it again because that was my first David Lynch movie, and I just don't think I was ready. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect coming in, and so I was kind of like, oh, what the heck is this?
What the hell?
So I definitely got to watch it again, and I love Kyle MacLachlan, so worth a rewatch.
All right. Well, there you have it. Not the most pretentious of your pretentious art house film.
Yeah,
corners.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We kept it pretty PG today.
Yeah. All right. Look at you. Don't worry. He'll be back next week with a underground German film from.
I will say I do have a crazy one for next week, and I'm not going to say what it is, but
it's whatever's in your class. Some kind of you and these professors. They got to show you this stuff, and you're like, oh my god. All right. Are you going to watch The French Connection, The Godfather, any of those, or is it always going to be?
I've seen the French Connection.
Yeah, I just
feel I don't know. We're doing Star Wars soon.
Oh, I hear that's not that good. Wouldn't it be great if you showed up and they're like, "We're now going to watch the best Star Wars movie ever," and they show you Phantom Menace? I saw a weird. I don't know if I talked to you about this. I saw this weird thing online where it was one of those short little things where a guy explains why every Star Wars movie has the wrong title. Like they have them all confused. Like literally like Star Wars The Phantom Menace should be like Attack of the Clones, and why Attack of the Clones should be Empire Strikes Back. And you have to look it up.
So funny.
It actually makes real sense. You're like, yeah, why?
I'm sure it probably does. Yeah.
Why is that called Return of the Jedi? That's the one where the Jedi returns.
God, that's so funny. That's a great bit.
Yeah, there you have it. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. PGN Podcast, breaking down movies, but we can't ignore it. It's the biggest weekend of the year for anyone who really cares about film. Not really. It's just another award show. And
this is it, folks.
By the time we get here, we're so showed out that we can't handle it. But, well, first off, Jackson, before we get into our picks, it's the Oscars this year. Who do you think will get slapped? My money's
what
on
does that mean?
My money's on Michelle Yeoh. Well, doesn't everyone have to get? Someone has to get slapped now.
Oh, slapped. Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was like slang for snubbed. Michelle Yeoh.
Are we all
this year,
watching?
it's going to be. I think that Rupert Ostland's going to say something out of pocket, and then that's going to make some wealthy backers going to take it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I think they're going to have some kind of like grief counselors or something on call at the Oscars this year in case something goes awry.
Grief counselors in case someone dies?
Oh, I think if someone says something about someone and they take it the wrong way. I don't know if put a comment on here if you've heard that, but I could have swore I heard that they were doing something to be prepared. God. What do they think is going to happen? I mean, they think this is now
G.I. Jane joke apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Jimmy Kimmel hosting. You like that pick? It's a little blah for me.
No, I don't actually. I would have. Did you watch the Globes
this year? I did, and I did not like him. I
think Gerard Carmichael's hilarious, and so that's unfortunate because I think he's so funny.
I just didn't think he was funny at the Golden Globes. I thought he said some
sucks.
I thought he said some good political commentary things, but when it came to jokes,
he is very profound. Yeah,
yeah. I just thought the jokes fell really flat. I don't think you're going to see him host any. I don't.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's like Ricky Gervais hosts the Golden Globes.
I just want Ricky Gervais all the time.
Ricky Gervais hosts the Golden Globes, like he does. So
he just calls out all. I wish
he kills. Come back. He kills every time. So yeah.
Oh, we can't offend. Not now. Now we really can't have him back because, oh my God, he'll offend.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do this to me right now. Don't make me.
It's not me.
Fight back.
It's not me. It's your generation. What do you want to do?
It's literally no. I'm pushing this out. We're not going to get into a Thanksgiving table discussion about cancel culture right now. Yeah. The Oscars. I'm getting back on track.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. This is our Oscar picks. Get your ballots out. Or be ready to listen to the podcast again to write them all down. We're going to go through each category. We're going to go through the small ones first and just really not spend a lot of time with them, just give our predictions. Yeah. And then we'll get to the big ones. I'm going to make sure I'm filling out Jackson's ballot as we go because I have no idea who's picking. And trust me, I want to rub it in his face next week when he got 4 correct next to my 17. Visual effects, Jackson. I'm going to start there. Who's winning visual effects?
This is pretty cut and dry. It's Avatar.
Yeah,
it's Avatar 2, Way of Water.
I got Avatar as well. Jackson has Avatar. Let's go with live.
And listen, I wasn't even like the biggest fan of that movie. It deserves it. It's just like it's a no-brainer.
You know, I actually would have picked Top Gun. If I was choosing, we're not really
For
doing
visual
art.
effects, really?
Yep, I sure would. I thought it was more stunning than watching that. I've seen an Avatar would look great. I've seen it before though.
I guess so. Fair enough.
Live action short film, Jackson. Did you throw a dart at the wall? Who are you picking for live action
I haven't
short
seen
film?
any of these, but I will say it seems to be the year of the Irish with Banshees, so I'm going to go with An Irish Goodbye.
Jackson, you are correct. An Irish Goodbye is going to win that. Good pick. There is a small chance it could be La Pupille, but I don't think so. And by the way, I know I completely mispronounced that name. Animated short film, Jackson. Who do you like for animated short film?
I have heard a lot of good things about My Year of Dicks, so that's what I'm going to go with.
I also am going with My Year of Dicks. However, I will tell you Ice Merchants is a dark horse. So if you're at home and you're writing this down and you want to go a little off our picks, I have heard Ice Merchants might be pretty good. Production design, Jackson. Who do you have for production design?
So this is one of the ones I put a check for the ones that I think are going to win, and I put an X for the ones that I actually want to win. I think Babylon's going to take this one for production design.
You are correct, Jackson. This
yes.
Babylon is going to win production design.
However, if it were up to me, I would have All Quiet in the Western Front, and I do think that while I do think it's going to go to Babylon, I think that it has a slight chance because the war movies tend to do well in those technical fields. So
right, really, actually, if there's an upset here, I think Elvis has a small shot. So
yeah, that's a good point. I keep forgetting about that as well.
But with that said, so far we are in complete agreement.
Yeah, wow. This is, look at that.
Original score, Jackson. Who do you like for original score? To win.
It's Babylon, which is unfortunate, but the Oscars love Justin Horowitz. So it's gonna go to Babylon.
Would you pick? I'd pick All Quiet on the Western Front if I could.
I would also pick All Quiet on the Western Front, although I would not be upset with Everything Ever All at Once because I do love the score for that. But All Quiet on the Western Front, I think, left a bigger impact on me score wise.
Yeah. So far though, Jackson and I agreement. I think Babylon's gonna win that as one.
Babylon's gonna take that one. I think.
Makeup and hairstyling, Jackson. Who do you like?
The Whale.
The Whale.
I like The Whale for that.
I agree with you as well. However, I will mention. I do think this is another one that Elvis could sneak into, but if you held a gun to my head, it's going to be The Whale. Documentary short film, Jackson. Who's winning documentary short film?
I have not heard of any of these, so this is once again a shot in the dark. Actually, you know what? I do think I have heard about How Do You Measure a Year, so I'm going to go with How Do You Measure a Year.
Okay, I'm going to pick The Elephant Whisperers. So that's our first one. That we are disagreeing on. It could come down. This could come down to documentary short film next week. 5 movies that neither one of us have seen.
I would hate myself if this is the one that got me a ding.
That's the one that got you. Here's a category I normally have a lot more respect for, and I try to see more of. I did not see any of them. I tried to see Navalny this week, and I just didn't have the time. Jackson did see Fire of Love. That's the only one that we've seen.
I did see Fire of Love.
But what do you think is going to win documentary feature film, Jackson?
The only one I can really... Fire of Love is the only one I can comment on. I loved it personally. I have heard a lot about Navalny, though. So
yeah, I think it's between the two. And to be honest with you, it was
I'm gonna stick with my
coin
guns
toss.
with Fire of Love.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going Navalny on this one. I think I might shoot myself in the foot. I think
the documentary category is gonna be the one that gets between us here, huh?
That's the one that gets us. All right, so Jackson has Fire of Love. And you had How to Measure a Year. I got to make sure I'm marking your ballot here because I want all of these on record. Costume design, Jackson. Who do you like?
Sorry, let me find this. I like Babylon again. Yeah, I like Babylon again. Although I wish it would go to Everything Ever All at Once because they did do a great job with the costumes, especially
Isn't it crazy that
Jobu.
Isn't it crazy that we're predicting a movie that tanked at the box office, the critics really did not care for, and people just have a bad taste in their mouth? Well, so far, I think we have it as it's won more Oscars than anything else. We both picked it for costume design.
Yeah.
We both picked it for production design, and we both picked it for original score.
Yeah.
So right now, it's 3 Babylon 3. Everything else, blah. But that's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
This one I don't think's even close. Animated feature film, Jackson. Who do you like?
It's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's the only one. It's the only one I have seen. Oh no, I've seen Marcel the Shell, which I thought
I would like Marcel to win, but I mean, I also haven't seen Pinocchio, so I can't.
You were a big fan of Turning Red as well, weren't you? Didn't you tell me you saw that?
I liked Turning Red. I don't think I'd say I was a big fan of it, but I think that it was an interesting take on a genre that's kind of. Those Pixar movies get repetitive sometimes, and I think they did a good job at doing something new with that one.
Right. Before we get to the big guns, our last small one, Best Sound, Jackson. Thoughts on Best Sound?
Sorry, I'm trying to find that one on the sheet. Where's Best? Right here. Best Sound is going to go to Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh, we disagree as well. Although that's not a bad pick. I think Top Gun could easily win that. I am going to go All Quiet on the Western Front on this one.
That's the one that I want to win, but I think that Top Gun Maverick might take it for this one.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're split on documentary feature film, documentary short film, and sound. But now we get into the big dogs. These are the ones that people care about. This is why we watch the first 2.5 hours of the Oscars before they finally get to something that we actually care about. Let's start with international feature film, Jackson. All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina, 1985. Close, which we spoke about earlier. EO, and The Quiet Girl. Who's going to win, and who would you like to win, Jackson?
I think that All Quiet on the Western Front is going to win. I don't think it's much of a competition, and honestly, it's the one that I want to win anyways. So
yeah, I agree as well.
Although I did love Close, and I wouldn't be upset at that. All Quiet is a fantastic movie. So
yeah, I think it's got the momentum too. I have it as my should win and will win. Of course, I did not see all the other ones, but knowing how high it ranked on both of our top 10 lists, probably not a surprise. Film editing, Jackson. The nominees: The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Who do you think should win, Jackson?
See, the editing category is always kind of a toss-up because I know there's that big controversy about Bohemian Rhapsody winning, and everyone was like, that movie was not edited well.
Right.
I think it's going to go to Elvis just because of the flashy cuts.
Okay.
But I think that if I had to pick, it would be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay. I agree. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once should win, and I think it is going to win. So we're going to get another disagreement. Jackson picking Elvis.
I would hope.
Again, though, by looking at the list, if there is something to upset Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think you're right. I think it would be Elvis. So I cannot slam you on that pick. All right, we disagree on another category. Let's jump over to I missed this one and no one cares about this. Original song. Who you going with there?
This Is a Life. It has the star power. It's Mitski and David Byrne.
David Byrne. Okay. You unfortunately could not be more wrong.
And Moses Sumney.
You are 100% incorrect. The winner of that category
will Top Gun.
No, it'll be Natu Natu from RRR. You heard it here first. If there's a
really?
Yep, Natu Natu from RRR. Okay. Just remember, your dad told you Natu Natu from RRR because that's the song that's going to win. And I can't wait to you're sitting in front of the TV next Sunday and they go Natu Natu and you go, what? How did Dad? What? Huh? Just wait. I can't reveal all of my.
Someone did a PD assignment about that song, and so I've seen the clip of it playing. I know what it's about. It's just like that. Really, that's the song.
That's
all right.
That's the one that's going. But you have This Is a Life. If anyone wants to lose that category, follow Jackson and fill out that category. Let's get to screenplays. Adapted screenplay first. That means it's from another source material. Your nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Jackson, who should win and who will win?
All Quiet on the Western Front should win, and I also have it for winning.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are veering off now. I think Women Talking should win. I think that was an incredible script. And I also think that Women Talking is going to win.
Really? Okay.
I think Jackson is. Yeah, I do not see All Quiet on the. I didn't see Living, but there's just no heat under Living at all whatsoever.
That's not taken. That's not taken.
All Quiet on the Western Front absolutely could win. That's a very safe Oscar type adapted screenplay, but I think Sarah Polley's going to win an Oscar. I think they've got to give an Oscar to a woman somewhere, and I think it's going to be Sarah Polley's script.
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough.
But we'll see. Nominees for original screenplay: The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Who should win, Jackson, and who will win?
As much as I love Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think that The Banshees of Inisherin just had an overall better script, so I would like it if that one won, and I also do believe that Martin McDonagh is taking home the Oscar for that.
Look at that. So you think Banshees should win, and it will win.
Yes.
I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once should win the Oscar. If I was picking, that would be my choice. However...
Really?
Yep. However, I am going to agree with you, Jackson. I think The Banshees of Inisherin win. As much as I love Banshees of Inisherin, if I'm looking at just the script, I do think Everything Everywhere All at Once is just a little more original.
Yeah, that's... yeah.
Not to take anything away from Banshees, I do think Banshees is going to win. I would have chose Everything All at Once. Cinematography, Jackson. That's a category near and dear to your heart. The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. Who do you think should win?
It's Bardo. Bardo should win.
You think Bardo? I also have Bardo as the one that I would pick. If I was just looking at cinematography, and there are problems with Bardo, and it's long, but that's not what this
category is about. It's about how it looks.
Yeah, I absolutely would have voted for Bardo as well. However, I'm not picking that to win. I think your cinematography winner is the brilliant war epic All Quiet on the Western Front. What do you think will win, Jackson?
I would have agreed with you, but I think that the Academy just loves Roger Deakins, and I think that they are not going to let Sam Mendes go home without an Oscar for something. So, Empire of Light. I'm saying Empire of Light for this one.
Okay. Well, I love Empire of Light. It tanked at the box office. Critics were very mixed on it, but the movie really hit me. So I like that pick.
They love Roger Deakins.
I don't think it has a chance in hell, but I have marked it on here.
All right, fair enough.
But you are right. Sometimes it's like, who's good up for best score? John, what's his name? John Williams? Oh, John Williams is going to win. So,
John Williams is winning
It's always like that if there's a tried and true person. But we'll see. We're split on cinematography. What's that?
I said we'll see, yeah.
We'll see. All right. Well, that leaves us with the 6 big remaining categories. We'll start with directing. The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Mr. Spielberg, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Who should win, Jackson? Who should win?
This is a tough one for me.
Really? Okay.
It's really, for me, it's split between Banshees and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that I would prefer it if Banshees won this for directing. But I do think that
you would. Wow, this is a huge one. You would pick Martin McDonagh over the Daniel boys.
I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once has the better concept and the better execution as far as affecting me emotionally. I think that when it came to directing and bringing out a performance from somebody, I think that I put more of... When I hear Ke Huy Quan and Michelle Yeoh talk about their process for that, a lot of it was personal to them. Whereas I feel like with Martin McDonagh, he was way more into manipulating the characters to create the story for himself. Right. I think that he should take this one personally. Wow. Okay. But I would not be upset at all if Everything Ever All at Once took it, because I do love the Daniels very much. So
okay. Well, who do you think will win? Since we know you would pick Martin, who do you think will win? Will he win, or will it be someone else? Oh, he's torn.
Again, I'm split between Banshees and Everything Everywhere, because I think that I think that Martin McDonagh.
Well, now this is not about what you think. This is about what
I
you
know.
think
I'm thinking from the Academy's perspective. I think that Martin McDonagh has the track record, but I think that they might be more willing to give it to the new guys, just because the Oscars are struggling to bring in a younger audience.
Right.
God damn it. And the Fabelmans still might sneak in because Spielberg. But
it's Spielberg, and he won the Golden Globe.
That's bull. I'm just gonna say Banshees. I think Banshees is gonna win it.
Okay, I'm marking it down here.
I feel like I'm digging my own grave right now.
No, listen, hey, there's got to be a surprise or two, maybe, right? I think the Daniels should win for Everything All at Once, and I think the Daniels are going to win this easily. It's theirs to lose. They just won they just won the DGA award for Best Directors of the Year, and I think they're going to keep the momentum going with the Oscars. But we'll see. Martin McDonagh he's won before. He already has an Oscar for 3 Billboards. So he is no stranger to the award shows. Actress in a supporting role. We have Angela Bassett in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Hong Cho for The Whale. Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Stephanie Hsu, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Who should win, Jackson? If you pick, who would you pick?
I think Stephanie Hsu from Everything Ever All at Once should win this.
That's what you think.
Personally. That's what I think should win.
I'm going with Carrie Condon. If I was voting, I think Carrie Condon. I mean, again, I'm not taking away anything from any of these performances. I think they're all terrific. The one that resonated with me was that woman trying to get off that island and have some kind of life.
Yeah.
So that one hit me the hardest. But do you think Stephanie or my pick Carrie will win? Who will win?
It's a tough
Jackson?
category again.
It is a tough one.
See, I have it as Carrie Condon winning this.
Really? Okay, let me mark that. Carrie Condon. I'll just put a big X on it right now for incorrect.
Yep. So who the hell is taking this then? Angela Bassett?
Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Bassett will win the Academy Award this year. And she will win it more for her entire body. Even though she's won before, she won for her portrayal of Tina Turner and What's Love Got to Do with It. I think she's due again. I think they have to have.
I hate the Oscars.
I'm just telling you, put your money on Angela Bassett or go with Jackson. Look, I could be wrong. What do I know? What do I know?
Whatever, you smarmy sly guy.
Actor in a supporting role. We've got Brendan Gleeson in The Banshees of Inisherin. Not a supporting role. I hate that.
Yeah, come on. That's
just as big a star as Colin Farrell. It's so stupid. Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway. Sorry, nobody saw it. Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans. I told you that was going to get an Oscar nomination when we saw it.
You're right.
Barry Keoghan for... Is it Keenan? I think it's Keenan, right? Keegan?
Barry Keoghan.
Kogan or Keegan. Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke-Huy Quan for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Is it any surprise on who you think should win, Jackson?
Ke-Huy Quan should win, and there is not a universe in which she does not win this award.
I will agree with you on winning, but again, I would pick Barry Keoghan. If I was choosing.
Nah, unfortunately, that's not right.
No, that's scene by the river.
He's so great in that, but one scene versus an entire film.
The scenes where he's with his dad naked and it was so hilarious, and the scenes where he's sitting having a drink with Colin on the wall.
He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's my favorite part of that movie. But good lord, does Ke-Huy Quan deserve this award more than anyone? I will say, of every single award on the dock, this is the one I care about the most.
Right.
If he does not win that award, I would be crushed.
It's too much of a feel good story. He's been sweeping the awards, and two, it's the Academy has to, because they would look. I mean, it would be just as bad as when Chadwick Boseman lost Best Actor to Anthony Hopkins, when it was just like it was supposed to be this moment when his mother gets up and speaks, and it's like, what? Anthony Hopkins? He's not even here.
He wasn't even there.
He's like, I know Chadwick's gonna win, so it would be a little bit.
It would be
sad.
a gut punch. Yeah.
Actress in a leading role: Cate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas in Blonde, Andrea Riseborough and To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere, All at Once. And I will tell you this, Jackson, before I tell you my thoughts, and I'll go first since I'm making you go first. This was the toughest one for me.
This is a really tough one. I agree.
Now, if I was picking someone, I'd pick Andrea Riseborough. I thought that performance out of all of these 5 was the best. If I was going by just the performance, that is a movie centered on her performance, and I thought was a runaway train. However, she does not have a chance in hell of winning.
Yeah.
This is Cate Blanchett's award to lose. And it looked like she was steamrolling, and then Michelle Yeoh has suddenly really gained a lot of momentum and won some of the big awards coming down the gate. Now, Cate Blanchett also won the BAFTA just recently, but, she's British. She's supposed to win that over there. There's a huge part of me that wants to say Cate Blanchett is going to win this. She is fantastic in Tar. That movie is all her. I'm going to kick myself because I think this is kind of the upset of the night. I think if there's one where you go, that was a bit of an upset, I think it's Cate Blanchett. But I'm going to be safe here, and I'm going to say the winner will be Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. But
I am taking Cate Blanchett to win.
You
this.
are. Oh, yeah. Jack. I feel like such a coward now. I feel like my son is doing the.
Although I will say, if it was up to me, Michelle Yeoh would win every time.
Right.
Every time.
So she's your choice. Yeah. You would have voted for her. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel.
If it was up to me, Everything Everywhere All at Once would be getting most of my votes, to be honest. But it's like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to use your head too. You have to use your heart says Michelle Yeoh, but your head is saying Cate Blanchett. I have to be honest with you. I'm a little envious that you took that chance because that one.
It's tough. That one might screw you, man.
It could come back and bite me. We will see. 2 categories left here. Thanks for listening. Actor in a leading role: Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Paul Mescal in Aftersun, Bill Nye in Living. I'll start it off. If I was picking this category, it's a no-brainer for me. It's Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin. I would pick him. I just thought what he did was, one, I never would have cast Colin Farrell in that type of role. He's a leading man. He proves over and over again that he shouldn't just be. He's a character actor. He just does some incredibly subtle work in there. And I think what it probably, maybe since Tigerland, which is an early film he did, one of his best performances, I would pick him. However, even though he had steam coming out of the gates, I think this is Hollywood. I think they like flashy. I think they're going for the younger audience.
Get out of the seat.
There's a slight chance that Brendan Fraser could win this. He did just win the SAG Award for Best Actor, but I think Austin Butler is going to win for Best Actor come Sunday night. It's not my pick. I'd pick Colin Farrell, but if I have to say who I think is going to win, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Austin Butler. Real. Well, first off, who would you pick? Who would you pick? Paul Mescal?
I am pretty tied between Colin Farrell and Paul Mescal because I think that they both had incredible performances. Mm-hmm. I'm almost a little more wanting Paul Mescal to get it just because newer generation,
Right.
I think that came out of the gate swinging. I think Colin Farrell has had his time in court. He's in Bruges.
Yeah, but he's never had an Oscar.
He's had classics.
He hasn't had an Oscar. I don't know if he's been even nominated for an Oscar. I'd have to look into that. I mean, I'm trying to remember. He certainly hasn't won one, so he's got a pretty impressive body of work. But my problem with Paul Mescal too is I do think his daughter overshadowed him just a little bit. But that's just me.
And she's not even nominated, which is Jesus Christ.
So if someone
held Anna de Armas out of that category,
if someone held a gun to your head, who would you have voted for? Who would you have picked?
I'm gonna go with my heart, and my heart says Colin Farrell.
Okay, but who do you think?
Yeah.
will win? Will Colin Farrell win?
Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser is going to win this award, and it's not. I don't think it's a competition personally.
Wow. Okay.
Because I will say that
he has a chance. He definitely has a chance.
Austin Butler has stolen the heart of a lot of like women in my age. Right. There is a massive movement in young people where there's like they love these comeback stories with Ke Huy Quan and Brendan Fraser. I think it's their year to win it. So,
right. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Look at that. Let me see. Before we get to our last category, let me just kind of recap a couple of the big ones here. Adapted screenplay. I'm going All Quiet. Jackson's going All Quiet. I'm going Women Talking. We both agree the Banshees will probably get original screenplay. Directing, I like the Daniels, but Jackson's picking Martin McDonagh. That's I think a bit of an upset, but we'll see. Actress in a supporting role. Jackson's going Carrie Condon. I'm going to win that category with Angela Bassett. Actor in a supporting.
Yeah, you are going to win that category. That was just dumb.
Actor
that was dumb on my end.
You want me to change it? This is your only chance.
I feel like that's cheating because
sure?
that's just me going off of your pick.
Yeah, all right, we'll see. Don't let me talk you into anything.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
No, okay. Actor in a supporting role. We both think Ke Huy Quan is going home with it. Jackson likes Cate Blanchett to take Best Actress. I'm taking Michelle Yeoh to win that. And then Jackson likes Brendan Fraser. I like Austin Butler for actor. Jackson, your nominees for Best Picture of the Year: All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick. Can I just pencil in Top Gun Maverick for you right now? Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Jackson, who should win this category? Who will win this category?
Everything Ever All at Once should win this category. As far as who will win it, I'm also going to go Everything Ever All at Once. I think that this is their year. I don't see it going to All Quiet. I don't see it going to. It's no way it's going to Avatar. Elvis, no way. Tar, no way. Top Gun Maverick, no way. Triangle of Sadness, no way. We've been talking. That leaves, as far as the contenders, I see The Fabelmans. I see Everything Ever All at Once. I see Banshees. I think it's those three. I just think that Everything Ever All at Once has the steam. It's the movie of the year. It's what everyone's talking about, and it's the better film. So
yeah. It was number one on my pick of films of 2022. It was also Jackson's pick of best film of 2022. It has not been dethroned. It should win, and it will easily win.
Yeah.
I think we both agree on best picture for that. And it will be exciting to see the whole cast, I think, up on the stage. I'm sure the Daniels will bring everybody up for that one.
I'm sure they will too.
That's a no-brainer. So, I don't know. A little bit of competition. Best actress.
There's some controversy in there. I'm very curious to see how this all goes down.
We both disagree on the actresses, and we both disagree on lead actor. So the big categories might play a hand as well. So you're doing a little...
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I have to tell a story real quick. So this week was the Elvis. My school did an Elvis screening, and Austin Butler came and talked afterwards.
Oh,
and
I bet you were
lo and behold, we're looking at. There was people waiting in line all day, and this was the day there was a hailstorm, so there's like people waiting outside all day. My school was just filled. The inside is filled with just women just waiting for Austin Butler to show up. And so whatever, he comes, he does his thing, blah blah blah. They show the movie, he comes out, it's all great. They go to audience questions for the last portion.
No.
And you know how much this sucks. And I wasn't here for this. I didn't see this at all. But
you didn't wait in line for Austin Butler?
No.
Okay.
But this girl, they're like, all right, we're done with questions. She's like, oh my God, no, what's next? Like, please, I just have one question. Oh, and they're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna let you do the last question, then we'll wrap it up because you were waiting. And she goes, okay. Her question is, can you say your name in a silly voice?
Oh my God. And did he do it?
And the audience goes silent, and he's just and he doesn't do it. He's like, no, I don't don't think I'm going to do it. And then it was over. That was how it ended. This girl
and
just
that's
got
how it ended.
And the whole campus was like, who? Like, it was all over the social media. Just people like, who the hell asked Austin Butler to say Austin Butler in a silly voice?
Do you know the girl by chance? Is she a film student?
No.
Or?
You know why I don't? It's because when this was announced, and we all knew it, it was like that audience was probably 80% non-Dodge members or like non-film school people, right? Because it's like it didn't resonate that much with film students, but it really resonated with
teenage girls,
women in general who liked Austin Butler. I don't
understand why your school opens it up to the public like that. I feel like it should be like, this is for students.
I don't know why
students only. Is it just open to the campus students? Like, this wasn't film students, but it was like a business majors and stuff like that, or is it like, could I have just walked in off the street and go, I'm a huge Austin Butler fan?
You have to be a student. You have to be a student.
Okay, so at least it was students from your campus who were like, I'm a biology major.
But like, and when they do like sometimes they used to do online tickets, and it used to be like Dodge kids get it 15 minutes earlier, like the link to do tickets. But still, It's like, you are not getting anything out of this besides going, that's the guy I saw on the big screen. It's like, you're not learning anything.
Yeah. Who else is coming? Anyone else this semester? Is there anyone you're looking forward to?
The Daniels.
Oh,
the Daniels are coming.
Are they going to show everything everywhere?
You're goddamn right they are.
Of course they
are. At least I'm assuming so. I doubt they'd show like Swiss Army Man, but
right. Well, you never know.
I think that's kind of it for the ones that I'm
excited.
I think that's kind of it. Yeah.
Right.
They announced ones gradually. They only announced the Austin Butler one like last week, so
right.
They just pop up sometimes.
Did they need me to?
I'm hoping for a Martin McDonagh one. I'm hoping for a.
Be cool. It'd be neat to get something that's just not playing in the theaters. Or something old, like I like the fact that like, cool let's bring Ben. Can they get Roman Polanski? Is that one they can do? Can they fly him?
I don't know if he's allowed in the country right now.
Yeah. Do you think maybe they could smuggle him in for like a little Chinatown preview or something? Wouldn't that be great? It's like, we're showing Chinatown tonight, and there's a special guest star, but we can't tell you who it is.
We cannot tell you.
Everyone's like, did they
sign a release before you walk in saying that you were okay with?
Also, you cannot
be in the same room as this individual.
You can't be a female under the age of 17. Because we just don't. He has a restraining order against that kind of.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. All right, well, you got 2 more years there. Who knows who you're going to see in the coming years? And
true.
There you have it. The Parental Guidance Neglected podcast. Next week, we'll kind of reconvene, and we will reveal who did better in the Oscar pool.
Yep.
I think we already know who probably did better, but we'll see. We'll see. Who does better in the Oscars? I'm gonna watch them here at home and probably DVR it and fall asleep, but we'll find out. I think what we need to do then, is we should do. I think what we'll probably aim for is, because everyone's going to next episode want to hear our reactions to the Oscars. I think what we'll probably do is we'll shoot to record next Monday or Tuesday after the Academy Awards. And it'll also give us an extra day or two to see 65 or Champions or the Scream movie. So look for our next episode to drop hopefully a day or two after the Oscars. We'll find out how our polls went, all our reactions to Michelle Yeoh getting slapped by Brendan Fraser for making a fat joke or something like that. And I don't know what the reaction will be. But thanks for tuning in. You can start donating on our Patreon page. Donations begin at $1,500. That gets you a silver membership, unless you want to go up to the gold. That's $2,005.
A tour of our own house. And
yeah. If someday, if we do go Patreon, we'll be like, what is our bonus feature? You can get a signed copy of Dog with a Blog baseball cap.
If you buy a DVD, we will sign it of a movie of your choosing.
You get our names on it. We'll write them in squiggly lines. No one will know who it is.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
You can tell them it's the Daniels. What if we did that? If we signed copies of Everything Everywhere at Once, and we signed like 2 different signatures on it, and you're one of the Daniels, and I'm the other Daniels. They're like, oh look, they're different. It's obviously two different people signed it.
It really is them.
It really is them. All right, buddy. Hang tight. I will see you after the big night and have fun there. Are you guys going to dress up? Like, do you put on like tuxedos and?
We might. I didn't mention it. I sent out the text today, being like, "Hey, this is what we're doing," and then I didn't include that, but maybe I'll throw that in too.
Yeah, I say you do it for money. I say everyone throws in $5.
No,
and
true.
And then
true.
the winner could buy pizza, and then it's a wash anyways. All right. Yeah. Until then, thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you at the movies. I think someone already used that.
That's a good touch.
I think somebody already used that. Love you, buddy.
That's how I've been taking my son. Love you too. Later.